Chinese pastoral life often unfolds in the close encounters between humans and nature. Can they turn the tide against the odds? In the mountains, on the salt marshes, at sea, and in the forest.
Dad, dig quickly.
People transcend limitations and build for generations. Those unique products and distinctive food cultures illuminate the Chinese food map, providing endless possibilities for survival. Deep in the Taihang Mountains, terraced fields built with stone embankments cover an area of 200 square kilometers. The total length of the embankments exceeds half the length of the Great Wall. The construction began over 700 years ago and continues in this era. After frost's descent, it is time for the residents in the mountains to harvest persimmons. Xiaomi, 6 years old, enters the terraces with the adults for the first time.
Watch out.
Her father, Hulin, is the man of the house. However, in the fields, Xiaomi's great-grandpa, who is 86, is the real expert.
So many persimmons. I can have as many as I want today.
The trails are hard to walk. To save time, the family has lunch in the fields. The cornbread is grilled until fragrant. After frost's descent, the persimmons become less astringent and taste sweeter. This is the best natural jam.
Come here, I'll make you a persimmon bread. Xiaomi, give this to Grandpa, great-grandpa. This is for Grandma. Cheers. Is it sweet?
Yes.
Will you come here with Dad again?
Yes.
Persimmon trees don't have very deep roots. It can survive in thin soil. Second, despite the shallow roots, it can grow very tall and won't interfere with farming. It's also drought-resistant.
The Taihang Mountains are the dividing line between the North China Plain and Loess Plateau. Xiaomi's family lives in Wangjingzhuang, Shixian County, Hebei Province, deep in the heart of the Taihang Mountains. The mountains block the moisture from the southeast and wind and sand from the northwest, making it a barren land with little water and soil.
There's no flat land in Wangjingzhuang. It's all mountains. You have to climb a slope as soon as you step out the door. Only by building stone embankments can a small piece of flat land appear on which crops can be grown.
Their ancestors started building terraces on the mountains during the Yuan dynasty. Drought-resistant crops as tough as the folks were selected and cultivated. Together with plants, people found a way to survive. Hulin's family's 0.3 hectares of farmland is divided into more than 40 plots and scattered over a steep slope with a drop of nearly 500 meters. The drought-resistant millet is the main grain crop in the mountains.
Grandma, where should I start?
Start from there and keep going.
Okay. The seedlings also need to be cared for.
Yes, take good care of seedlings, and you'll have millets in the future.
Stand straight, both of you. Grandma, I stood them up. Dad, is this stone okay?
All the stones Xiaomi found are nice.
The stone embankments require constant maintenance. On the terraced fields, the soil is thinner than 20 centimeters in some places, and only 50 centimeters thick elsewhere.
Too many stones, too little soil. All the soil is dug out of the cracks between the stones. We use the stones to build the stone embankments and keep the precious soil in the terraced fields to grow grain.
Drought-resistant Sichuan pepper trees are planted near the stone embankments. With their extensive root systems, they bind the surrounding soil and stones together, locking in moisture after rainfall and preventing soil erosion.
Plant a Sichuan pepper tree here so the embankment won't collapse.
The seedlings will take 3 years to flower and bear fruit. Like persimmon trees, Sichuan pepper trees have been essential to the construction of terraces for centuries.
We're going to pick Sichuan peppers.
Pick Sichuan peppers. The donkey's hooves need trimming.
The 200-plus Sichuan pepper trees are Ho Lin's family's main cash crop. When Ho Lin attended university, he benefited from the profit of selling peppers.
Dad, pick quickly.
Okay. You too.
When I finish here, I'll pick their siblings next to them.
Compared with the varieties in Sichuan and Shanxi, the variety of Taihang Mountains has a higher content of terpenes, with a citrus aroma in their oil sacs, and a lower content of xanthol, making it rich in peppery aroma and moderately numbing. With the development of trade, Shixian County's Sichuan peppers were brought to North China, Northeast China, and the Beijing-Tianjin area. There is a traditional home-cooked dish that showcases the insights Northerners have of Sichuan peppers. Pork belly is boiled in water for 30 minutes, with sugar added for color and flavor. The stew seasonings are based on green onions and ginger, with Sichuan peppers eliminating the fishy smell and enhancing the fragrance of star anise. Cook for 1 hour on medium heat. The pork is cut into slices no thicker than 5 millimeters. Plenty of Sichuan peppers are put at the bottom, and the secret sauce is poured over. Then it is steamed over high heat for 60 minutes. This is the key to this dish. After long hours of stewing and steaming, the fat is rendered, and the fragrance and numbness of Sichuan pepper are subdued, yet perfectly cut the grease of pork belly. As a highlight dish at festive banquets for generations, each family has its secret recipe. Sichuan peppers are widely sold. Even the seeds are not discarded. They bring delight to the locals' lives.
Grandma, will the donkey get dizzy?
It won't.
Oil extraction from Sichuan pepper seeds has a long history in the Taihang Mountains. The traditional stone mill method is still used in the village. As great-grandfather's generation gets old, convenient and efficient electric mills are becoming preferred by people.
Grandma, I want to make a small pancake.
A small pancake? I'll give you the rolling pin.
Sichuan pepper seed oil has a strong, spicy aroma, a mild numbing taste, and a faint nutty fragrance.
Grandma, look at my small pancake.
Chop some green onions.
With fresh Sichuan peppers, the braised pork belly takes on an extraordinary charm.
I'm so hungry.
Potatoes. Pumpkins.
Great Grandpa, have some pork.
You want a big one or small one?
Small.
Small? Okay. Kids eat small ones.
The peasants' dining tables showcase the seasonal produce of the terraces. The ordinary delicacies in daily life nurture generations of mountain dwellers.
How is the foxtail millet?
Yummy. Xiaomia is eating foxtail millet.
In China, the natural conditions for obtaining food are far from favorable as mountains cover 2/3 of the total land area. Beyond the mountainous areas, there are nearly 100 million hectares of saline alkali land. At the mouth of the Liaohua River, the long-term confrontation between seawater and freshwater has formed over 2,000 square kilometers of coastal saline alkali land. Around grain rain, a magical plant sprouts new shoots. For centuries, whenever food was scarce, people would turn to it. This is suwa de salsa. In saline alkali areas, the culinary tradition of picking suwa de guashu in spring still exists. Carefully pinching off the top shoots won't affect their growth. New branches and leaves will sprout again from the cut stem in about a week. Blanch them in boiling water. Rinse repeatedly with water. And squeeze out the moisture. The salt in the suwa de guashu gradually dissolves.
We usually use it for dumplings with some leeks, shrimps, and plenty of lard. It requires much lard or steamed stuffed buns.
Suwa de guashu is crunchy and elastic, with a light seafood flavor. Available for only 20 days, it brings back memories of people on the saline alkali land. Asian clams are a standard addition, along with fatty pork belly.
The filling gets better as you stir more.
Homemade dumplings must have sufficient filling. Being put on freshly picked reed leaves, they are authentic steamed suwa de guashu dumplings of Liaohua River style. Ready now. Do they taste like childhood?
Yes, because the suwa de guashu is the same.
Nature's gift, suwa de guashu not only enriches people's diets, but also forms the basis of the biotic community in this once barren land. In autumn, suwa de salsa plants keep accumulating beta-cyanins. Immersed in highly saline tides, they grow vigorously, consuming 6 tons of salt per hectare per year. The salinity gradually degrades and reeds emerge. Where reeds grow, people can reclaim the land and cultivate fields suitable for special rice. As the Mid-Autumn Festival approaches, a freshwater creature that does not fear, saline alkali conditions becomes the star. Panjing crabs, a species of Chinese mitten crab, were introduced to rice paddies 50 years ago. At night, sudden bright light slows the crabs down, making them easier to catch. Growing in the unique environment where rivers and the sea meet, they are endowed with a flavor similar to seafood. Panjing, located at the same latitude as the world-recognized Golden Rice Belt, has ample sunlight, large temperature gaps, and abundant water. The 333 hectares of salt-affected soils, jointly transformed by humans and plants, can yield salt-tolerant rice with a chewy and elastic texture. The crabs raised in the alkali rice fields are small in size with firm but tender meat. The crab roe and crab meal are carefully separated while maintaining their original shapes. The shells are not discarded either. Crab paste is diluted with ginger water. Filtering crab juice is inspired by traditional rural tofu making. The crab meat is gone, while the crab roe and crab meal are still in the juice. Using rice bran oil, stir-fry the cooked crab roe with minced garlic. Add huangjiu brewed from salt-tolerant rice. All these preparations set the stage for the crab roe and crab juice to shine. When simmering over low heat, controlling the heat is extremely important. The protein quickly coagulates, which takes only a few seconds. In northeast China, cooking aquatic crustacean ingredients is a long-lasting tradition. Over 30 years, the coastline has advanced 2 kilometers into the sea, and the transformation from salt marsh to paddy fields is still quietly taking place. The once barren wasteland has become prosperous farmlands. Everything in nature changes as time flows. The Chinese people have never had an easy journey in acquiring food for survival and development. After overcoming geographical barriers, weather conditions add various constraints. Can people still find optimal solutions? The average altitude of the Wumeng Mountains is 2,000 meters. Hidden in the pine forests is a mysterious creature with ever-changing forms. As a water-conserving vegetation in karst mountains, the coniferous forest floor is a natural greenhouse that people have discovered. Every morning at 6 o'clock a.m. during midsummer, Chen Xiaofan appears punctually in the forest.
The caps will open in a few days.
From being as tiny as a needle tip, after more than 4 months of growth, they are full of energy. The sunlight rapidly raises the temperature in the forest. The pine needles allow air to pass through and prevent excessive sunlight. The air humidity of the understory exceeds 90%. Change is about to happen. Emerging red V. Ulva bamboo mushrooms. Perhaps it was the Chinese people's fondness for bamboo that led us to discover the delicious bamboo mushroom first. Originally parasitic on the roots of dead bamboo, they were once very rare. In the 1980s, the Chinese first isolated fungal strains from wild bamboo mushrooms, gradually starting artificial cultivation in the understory. The rare ingredient was brought into ordinary homes. After its cap opens, in less than 3 hours, the spores on the cap will liquefy. The skirt will then wither. Chen Xiaofan manages 20 hectares of bamboo mushrooms. The first batch will open within 15 days. It is a race against time.
Don't use too much force when picking. If you do, you'll damage the mushroom.
Bamboo mushrooms are fragile when the cap's just opened. Careless handling can damage the fungus. It requires speed and precision, allowing no room for carelessness. Every year, some college students come during summer vacation to help with the work. For beginners, this is not easy.
Okay, let's take the vulva off and put it here. This is called the cap. Cap. The black matter is the spore powder. Spore powder. Don't let the spore powder fall onto the stipe. Hold the stipe with your left hand and remove the cap, like this. Perfect.
The freshly picked red vulva bamboo mushroom is crisp and sweet and can be eaten raw.
It tastes sweet, like eating ice cream in June. It's smooth and tender in your mouth. The bamboo mushroom in Zhejiang has a unique fragrance that is not found in other bamboo mushrooms.
To preserve bamboo mushrooms, they need to be dried in the shortest time possible. Besides removing moisture, the drying process also causes a slight browning, resulting in a pale yellow color. After drying, the fresh fragrance fades, replaced by a rich fungal aroma. At room temperature, they can be stored for a whole year. The conical cap is also called a bamboo mushroom hat. Soak it in 70 degrees Celsius hot water for 1 hour, rinse briefly, and the spores attached to the cap will fall off. Now, the cap resembles a lamb tripe, locally known as the bamboo tripe. No complicated cooking is needed. Just add a few slices of fresh meat for flavor, stir-fry it with vegetable oil, and deliciousness is served. Bamboo tripe is crispy, chewy, fragrant, and refreshing. There's another surprising way to eat bamboo mushrooms, the bamboo mushroom eggs, or the buttons. From the vulva to the stipe, the indusium to the cap, the bamboo mushroom egg wraps all the essence, like an amino acid bomb. The clay frying pan, combining pan frying and baking, best activates the flavor of bamboo mushroom eggs. Various amino acids collide, and the rich taste bursts instantly.
Come on, take one each.
During the tiring harvest season, Ms. Chen is a generous employer. The seasonal delicacies of the Wumeng Mountains are on her friend's dining table, so delicious. The rare mushrooms that were once short-lived have been transformed into a popular delicacy that can be eaten anytime, anywhere. 2,000 kilometers away, an ancient tree species born in the age of dinosaurs still thrives in their homes. Early in the morning, Xin San and his parents head to the mountains. The steep slope has a 300-meter drop, a challenge even for young people. Climbing empty-handed, carrying a 9-meter-long, 40-kilogram ladder on their shoulders, they will climb up the mountain without stopping midway. The Chinese Torreya tree, a plant of the Torreya genus in the Taxus family, emerged in the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era, 170 million years ago. Ginkgo, which we are familiar with, is another ancient tree species. The tree is 17 meters tall. Xin San needs to build a vertical passage between the ground and the canopy. They need to climb the tree to harvest from the lower branches. The elderly couple has developed a tacit understanding over decades.
Take care.
Okay.
Xin Yuhen, the father, is familiar with every Chinese Torreya tree. This ancient tree over 800 years old is his greatest concern.
Careful. Slowly.
Every harvest season, the old man insists on picking the nuts himself. No one can stop him. After securing the ladder firmly, Xin San finally allows his father to use it.
He's always worried about these trees. He still enjoys doing the work. Every year, he takes care of them season after season.
It takes 17 months for the Chinese Torreya to go from flowering to bearing fruit. On the same tree, there are both ripe fruits ready to be harvested and young fruits that have been pollinated that year.
The fruits of this year and next year grow on the same branch. If we use tools, They will damage next year's fruits, so we have to harvest them one by one with our hands.
Among the 6 torreya species in the world, only the seeds of Chinese torreya are edible. It is credited to the people of Kuaiji Mountain 600 years ago, whose selection and grafting gave rise to the unique species in China, the Chinese torreya.
Hinsan, be careful.
Chinese torreya trees grow slowly, taking 15 years to begin bearing fruit and 30 years to enter their peak fruiting period.
Our oldest tree is over 800 years old. We have dozens of trees aged 2 or 3 centuries, and some that are 20, 40, 70, and 80 years old. Because these trees were planted at different times, the Chinese torreya, planted by a man, can only be harvested by his grandson.
The pioneers plant the trees, and their descendants harvest them. The small Chinese torreya nuts embody the generations of stewardship and waiting of the farmers. After harvesting, they have to work non-stop for more than a month. The manual removal of the fleshy arils surrounding the seeds is called tuapu. The nuts then undergo a complex ripening process. Guo is a crucial step.
The Chinese torreya nuts are still alive. We need to keep turning them like this for about a month.
Turning them every day is to maintain a uniform temperature and humidity. Inside the nutshell, the tannins in the aril gradually oxidize, slowly removing the bitterness. After 25 days, the nuts complete the ripening process. They are then dried for 3 to 5 days before reaching the most challenging step. Stir-fry the nuts in 200 degrees Celsius fine salt for 20 minutes. When they are 70% done, immerse them in cold salt water. The salt penetrates the shell, bringing a slightly salty taste and helping the aril attached to the kernel to loosen and separate. After stir-frying for many turns, for 10 more minutes or so, the nuts are finally ready. At one end of a nut, there are 2 symmetrical protrusions, which locals call shishir eyes. This unique mechanical structure makes it easy for people to pinch open the shell. After a long growth period and complex processing, the small seeds now combine the aromas of cypress, wood, fat, and nuts, resulting in a crispy texture and lingering sweet aftertaste. Chinese torreya nuts also bring chefs lots of creative ideas. Slice the mandarin fish. Make a filling with chopped Chinese torreya nuts, green onions, and lard. Fry them in vegetable oil over low heat for 3 minutes. The fish rolls with Chinese torreya nuts have a fresh and mellow flavor. For nuomi zi, replace peanuts and sesame with chopped. Chinese torreya nuts, creating a glutinous and crispy texture with a hint of refreshing uniqueness. The cycle of all things mirrors the rhythm of time. In the interaction and balance with limited resources, Chinese people make voluntary concessions. On May 1st, the 4-month summer fishing ban will be in effect in China's major seas. The marine ecosystems are able to recuperate. However, on the dining table, people won't notice it. Marine agriculture became an important supplement during this period. The Changshan Islands in Dalian is the highest latitude area for marine ranches in China. Sun and his partners usher in the busiest period of the year.
The grade 3 spats are too small. They have grown much better in the past 2 days.
The spats, after 35 days in the sea, are divided into 3 grades according to their size and placed in breeding cages. Changshan Islands are located at 39 degrees north latitude, with an average water temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. The meeting of cold and warm currents from the Bohai and Yellow Seas brings abundant organic matter. Scallops filter plankton and organic debris from seawater and grow rapidly without artificial feeding. Yeso scallop is a cold-water marine bivalve species. In the 1980s, they were introduced to Changshan Islands with suitable water temperatures. As the main production area, it accounts for over 90% of China's total output. 18 degrees Celsius is the optimal temperature for Yeso scallops. Before the temperature rises, the most urgent task is to harvest the 1-year-old scallops that have been farmed for a year. On the marine ranch, people have the opportunity to taste freshly harvested scallops. The shortest distance from the ocean to people brings an ultimate sensory experience.
So big.
The grade ductor mussel is the best and freshest. I'll open another one for you to try.
It's sweet.
Yes.
Yummy.
Freshly harvested scallops need to be processed in the shortest time. The processing plant is close to the marine ranch. Seawater is used for cleaning and steaming to retain the original flavor. The adductor mussel and the frill have their uses. This workshop can process 100,000 kilograms of fresh scallops with shells every day. Drying with hot air at 80 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, the adductor mussel dehydrates, the umami substances condense, and the fresh sweetness transforms into a rich umami, transcending time and space to become the dried scallops we are familiar with. The fisheries kitchen is filled with the joy of harvest. With the freshly caught seafood, even the most ordinary meals become visually appealing. Marine operations never stop. At a depth of 20 meters, divers are harvesting 3-year-old scallops. These are the spats Sun and his men sowed 3 years ago. The seabed environment is not affected by the surface water temperatures. Scallops growing in natural waters are closer to wild ones. During the fishing moratorium, fishermen will avoid sea cucumbers and snails that are spawning. In less than 4 hours, Yeso scallops have been delivered to restaurants in Dalian. Yeso scallops grown for more than 4 years have even plumper adductor mussels. Coated in batter and pan-fried over low heat, the sweet scallop juices are sealed in. Adding a broth made with dried fat and keeper worms enhances the flavor without overpowering the scallop's original taste. dice scallops or pound it to make them elastic. Inspired by Huayang dish lion's head and Hangzhou cuisine's fish balls, the scallop lion's head meatball is born. Add it to a chicken broth made with seasonal shellfish, steam for 30 minutes, and garnish it with sweet peas to add a refreshing touch. On the traditional wood-fired stove, stir-fried spicy scallop frill is the favorite dish of Sun and his co-workers. Steamed scallops and oysters showcase the simplicity and generosity of the fishery.
This one is plump.
Umami. Umami and sweet.
The reward of delicious food is enough to soothe people's hard work day and night. Facing the constraints of nature, the Chinese farm in mountains and seas to be, willed their lives. In this age of incredible food diversity, we look back to the origins of agriculture, exploring how humans and nature tamed each other to shape the farmlands on which we rely to survive. Wheat is one of the first crops cultivated by humans. Over a third of the world's population relies on wheat as their primary food source, known as the grain of the world.
The current wheat stems from 3 species of wild grass and has gone through 2 polyploidization processes. The first polyploidization occurred when wild einkorn wheat hybridized with Aegilops speltoides, transforming from a diploid to tetraploid. Then, after a long time, the third wild grass species showed up, the Tausch's goat grass. It's the third progenitor of wheat. We name it jiejimai because the grains are segmented like joints and it's quite brittle. Once you touch it, it breaks off. Look, I just touched it gently. See? I didn't break it. I barely touched it and it fell off. In the evolution of wheat, we managed to change its brutal nature and eliminate the trait that seeds are not easy to thresh. It was after thousands of years of evolution that wheat formed the wheat ears that we are familiar with today.
In a bustling urban area within Beijing's Third Ring Road, 6.6 hectares of wheat surrounded by buildings awaits harvest. It is not farmers working here, but scientists from the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences. This experimental field has been cultivated since the 1950s. It currently grows over 1,000 wheat experimental materials. The advantageous results have been promoted to extensive wheat growing areas. The domestication between humans and wheat has accelerated millennia of selection in the past to decades, or even just over a decade. China is the world's largest wheat producer and consumer, supporting a long-standing tradition of wheaten foods. In North China, where wheat cultivation dominates, different signature wheaten foods have developed that reflect local customs, much like dialects. People use various meat and rich ingredients to express their love for wheaten foods. In Tianjin, a bustling land and sea commercial hub, wheat foods have been popular since ancient times, connecting thousands of families. Yusu, made by mixing heated soybean oil with flour, infuses the essence into a variety of flatbreads. Half-risen dough is rolled into smaller portions. It is the perfect assistant. Yusu flatbreads are finally layered with a rich aroma of oil and wheat.
2 sesame.
What's beside the sesame flatbreads? Are there any small ones?
4 yuzu flatbreads.
4 flatbreads. 2 sesame flatbreads.
2 yuzu flatbreads.
In Tianjin, we need flatbreads every day for a week without repeating.
True.
Beans, hawthorns, sweet, salty sesame flatbreads, beef and lamb.
Tianjin is truly a kingdom of wheaten foods. Here, flatbreads, as a staple food, can be paired with any dish to make a satisfying meal. Yusu flatbread is also the favorite of black-headed gulls. Every year when the weather cools, they return to the Haihei River on time. The yusu flatbreads people bring here captivate the taste buds of the gulls. This place also becomes their urban pastoral for a safe winter. Chinese people's precise understanding of flour reflects the subtle synchronization between people and the land. On the North China Plain, there is another traditional wheat-growing hub. China's earliest mechanized coal mining emerged here. In the context of industrialization, the origins of wheaten foods are amplified to the extreme in Tangxin. A 600-gram dough will undergo unexpected transformations in just a few minutes. The steamed flour, with the gluten removed, has larger particles than ordinary flour, effectively preventing the dough from sticking. Rom a palm-sized dough. It takes less than 5 minutes to stretch a double-layered flag 2 meters wide and 6 meters long. The steamed flour added repeatedly must be completely shaken off in a process called fang fang. The chef's superb skills come from years of dedicated practice. On the kneading board, techniques are passed on from masters to apprentices to preserve the local flavor. Layered 15 times, the sheets are no more than 1 centimeter thick. The evenly divided dough sheets are slid in the middle and then flipped to create multi-layered flours. In 160 degrees Celsius hot oil, the flours are cooked instantly. Drain the oil while hot. Then quickly drizzle with syrup made from honey and sweet osmanthus. The fried dough twist in honey, carrying the warmth of time, represents an era's ultimate imagination of delicious wheaten foods. When we trace the origins of food, harsh and barren lands often give rise to the most creative fields. These delicacies born from adversity and limitations embody the wisdom passed down through generations. The pastoral dining table contains the rules of the world and also holds the enduring genes of the Chinese people.
Want to grow vegetables but have no land? As long as you can stay positive, a solution is always around. See this?
Take a look, everyone. This is the real expert.
Unbelievable. You grow vegetables here?
Radishes grow in the cracks of the bricks.
These are my in-office plants. You think mine is crazy? Look at you, my colleagues. She's growing sweet potatoes. What a daydreamer.
It will rain soon. I just realized how talented my mom is.
Flooded again. I'll start all over again.
Hey guys, big radishes. Take a look. My face is so small in comparison.
Such a big strawberry.
I'm in Paris, France. We are going to start farming.
I'm now in the rice fields of Madagascar.
Welcome to the black and white deserts in Egypt. Look, these are all volcanoes.
Far away in Antarctica, the Chinese expedition team has arrived there.
Let's go take a look at the space garden.
Let's go.